Welcome back to the Plenty of Games Open Series for November. This is a November event.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jim Dowling. I'm joined by Ethan Bird here. We're ready to commentate for round 4. 5 rounds today, 31 players.
Yeah, just under the 6th round threshold.
Yeah, beautiful. So we've got some players that are 2-1 at the moment. If they win this round, they'll be hoping for a swift handshake to make their way to the top 8.
Yeah, that's it.
Have you seen anything cool out there today?
Not super cool. I mean, we did see the moderator on camera on round 1. That was pretty sick. That was a highlight of my year for Highlander for sure. But it's pretty standard stuff. A lot of lands, you know, typical sort of metagame that I think we saw from the Lotus event.
Yep.
So, but there is a lot of innovation. I think I've seen a few Badger Moles and obviously One Shi Tongs.
Yeah,
so I think more Badger Moles than the Lotus event. But yeah.
There's been a few avatar cards that have been floating around. I've seen My Scornful something striker.
The 2-drop?
Yep.
Yeah.
And is it Price of Freedom is the red lesson. Destroys a land or an artifact. They get to find a land, but you get to draw a card.
The new Zendikar Rising. Destroy
Yeah. So like there's a few cool
destruction
role players around that are seeing some play.
Yep.
But it looks like the players are ready to go. So let's get down to the table.
Yeah, so top of screen we'll have Ben Bahlen on Reanimator. His opponent, Zach Luxmoore, tremendous surname, on Blue Moon.
And they're doing their mulligans right now. So Zach, not happy with the 7, putting it back. That's a Lutri there in the command zone. They're both going to 6. So,
yeah, both going to 6. Very quick mulligans too. So it's nice when it's an easy decision.
Yeah.
Do we know who's on the play? Not too sure.
I don't know who's on the play. I'm sure it'll be painfully obvious to us
That's it.
in a little bit here.
So it looks like Zach's hand looks a lot better. Somewhat of a good mixture of lands and spells.
I see a couple of islands and not much else there. I think that's a mountain being put to the bottom, actually.
Interesting. So yeah, I think I saw a Paraglyph.
Okay.
Also Unholy Heats. So,
well, Reanimator. What we haven't seen anything like this today. All we've been seeing today is aggressive decks against less aggressive decks, and a sprinkling of lands in there. But Reanimator, what are we expecting to see here? Is this deck real? Is it consistent? What are the fatties? What are we doing?
Yeah, Reanimator seems to always be around. So at least in the major events, it is somewhat at the top tables. Doesn't always have a massive performance, but I think that is probably more of a reflection on how many people are just playing it.
Yeah.
I think we saw like Tom Nurse have a good run at Mana Clash earlier this year with Reanimator, similar list to this one. And yeah, you're looking to pump out a big fatty, whether that's the Valgavoth or an Iona. Coma is another one.
Coma, sick.
Yeah, and of course the classics like Grizzlebrand and Atraxa.
Sure.
You've also got Archon of Cruelty, so that's more of one of the non-legendary good cards you can get out of the bin. And probably a nice key one too, a tremendous cube card in Metamorphosis Fanatic.
That card is so sick.
Yeah, the Miracle Reanimator.
That paired with the like the depointing of Worldly Tutor has been so influential on this format.
Yep.
The ability to sort of Worldly Tutor for Reanimate, you know, with massive upside.
Yep.
Was sick.
So I think we saw a Spell Pierce on the Duress.
Yeah, that's right. Turn 1, really fetch a Surveil land, bin this Brazen Borrower, Spell Pierce your Duress. And now we're casting Entomb, and that is Atraxa Grand Unifier.
Bang.
The biggest dog.
Biggest dog. It's going to create, although there's another big dog on the stack at the moment in the form of Back to Basics.
Dope. Hey, why are those lands untapped? Let's get them back.
Yeah, that's too much muscle memory.
Yeah.
I think from Ben there.
Oh, the Surveil lands. I tell you what, they're normally a sick pile of value, but under a Back to Basics, they're a paddling. What's the card that was milled there to that Surveil?
I think that's a Bone Shards.
Bone Shards. Okay. Are we playing limited? What's going on?
I love Bone Shards. I think Bone Shards is a tremendous,
big Bone
Shards
nice
guy. Synergy piece that you can add to the Reanimator archetype. So obviously, you're going to be able to destroy a creature or artifact. And
creature or planeswalker.
Creature or artifact. Well, this card's not as good as I thought. But yeah, you're playing into obviously your Reanimator main game plan by discarding your big threat and getting a cheap removal spell.
Yeah. And so Zach, just taking the opportunity, 4 untapped lands and a Pyrogoyf. Look, this isn't going to be hitting any of the relevant creatures. You know, we're not Pyrogoyfing and then tracks are off the board. So bang, let's just dome you.
Let's hit the face and get the
in
clock going.
for I think that was for 4 and 1 from a fetch land there. So
yep. Yeah, and as we see here too, looks like Ben's got 4 basics. So if he's able to play a fetch land or draw the basics naturally,
you can still do some stuff.
Yeah, I've seen 2 island, 2 swamps.
2.5 color deck.
Yeah,
That's impressive, honestly.
A lot of respect.
Yeah.
For, unfortunately, though, the respect isn't matching the outcome.
Yeah, it feels like Ben didn't know what Zach was playing.
Yeah.
You know, there was the turn 1. Actually, I don't think there's been a fetch land, so maybe it's just bad luck rather than disrespect.
Yeah, and often too, because you're forced on the mulligan to 6.
Yep.
You can't really.
Sure.
If your hand's functional, you're probably not going to ship it because you don't have a basic land.
Sometimes you just get got. Get a glimpse at the hand here. I see life, death, and a bunch of black cards.
Yeah, so I think, has he played a fetch land? He's got his hand in front of it, unfortunately.
Played a land of some variety. That might be a Verge, perhaps?
Yeah.
Are Verges playable these days? Is that something we can do?
I think Verges are definitely playable. I think some of the Grixis lists are sneaking the blue-black Verge in their builds now too. Obviously, pairs really well with the Surveil lands.
Zach fetching a tapped Steam Vents here.
It's interesting.
What's up with that? Is this deck 8 points? That's what I have to ask you. You've got control of our deck lists right now.
I assume it is because there's no Volcanic Island.
No Volcanic.
That's my quick check.
That's the telltale sign.
Yeah, don't want to go through all the points at once. So yeah, just check if they got the Volk. They don't have it, so it's likely 8 points.
And still just choosing though to have this Steam Vents enter tapped under the back to basics.
Yeah, I think that's one of the old forget about your own card.
Oh, well. All right, we're discarding the hand size now, and now there's a second reanimation target.
I kind of like this. You know, yeah, discard my Grizzlebrand if I'm able to rip a reanimate, or, you know, play another land and get that life death going.
Yeah, that's the thing. A second land is the big threat here, with a life death in hand, assuming that there's no counterspell. Flame of Anor on the end step for Zach, and then untapping. Hasn't bought this loot tree, so representing that he has something to do with a whole whopping 5 mana.
Yeah, I think too it's kind of safe here to maybe. I mean, even if he doesn't have anything to cast, not getting loot tree is just a good signal of, hey, if you're going to do something, I might be able to answer it. But yeah, looks like Ben very, very importantly has hit his second untapped land through the back to basics.
Yeah, and now this one's going to stay untapped. Down to 5 life though, so Grizzlebrand.
Oh, okay.
You know, it could be a 7/7 lifelinker. I guess if you're going to get just a lifelinker and nothing else, it's going to be a Traxer here. And we have Dance of the Dead.
A lose focus.
And a lose focus. Kick that a bunch of times.
And he's just going to.
We're going to go to game 2.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that land there was the Underground River that Ben's playing, and so
sure.
Tap it once.
Yep.
Won't be able to untap that one ever again.
So that was about as quick as a game 1 as we've had all day.
Yeah, so moving along to the sideboard.
Yeah.
Going over Ben's sideboard looking very clean. He's got a similar looking sideboard to the Grixis mid-range decks. So we've got Force of Negation, obviously some Blue Blasts. Into the Floodmoor is an interesting one. So the bounce spell from Bloomburrow.
Yep.
As well as a Sheoldred. So Sheoldred that can be another alternate sort of threat in the mid-range game. What are we bringing in is like Veil of Summer, awesome.
Veil's
Stop
great.
your stuff from being countered.
Yep.
As well as probably some mix of the Blue Blast. Not sure if you want both.
I think I'd want one.
At least
Blood
one.
Does
Does hit Moon, yeah, for sure.
And it hits Red Blast, I suppose. What other answers are there to Blood Moon, though? There's the Into the Floodmoor, as you mentioned.
Yeah, there's not a lot. You pretty much have to counter it.
Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, you could board in the Assassin's Trophy. Trouble with Assassin's Trophy is that Ben won't have access to green.
It's double coloured,
basic
right?
lands, yeah.
You really got to like float it.
But he does have obviously he's got some spell. He's got a Spell Pierce.
Yep. And the discard spells as well. That was actually provides a lot of context as to why the Duress got Spell Pierced on that early turn.
Yeah, exactly. If the Duress goes through, the Duress is able to get
nab that back to basics.
Yeah, grab the back to basics,
Yeah.
and then
And from the other side, if you're in Zach's seat here, I'm assuming that you're sideboarding in every card that says the word graveyard on it.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's Ghost Vacuum, maybe that's Grafdigger's Cage, depends what you're playing on the day.
Yeah, so Zach has Ghost Vacuum, big tick there, as you were saying.
Unlicensed Hearse.
Unlicensed Hearse, also pretty nice. I think when it's often tricky whether or not you want to board in Hearse when the graveyard isn't the main game plan.
Yep.
But obviously here, being Reanimator in the name,
I think Hearse is actually one of my favourite sort of hedges if the graveyard's not the main game plan. It's because it's got that sort of that functionality of being more than a graveyard hate piece. You know, if you don't need to be keeping it up to answer spells, it can just become a 6/6 and then
absolutely. The amount of games that I've seen be ended by an 8/8 or a 10/10 Hearse is really surprising.
And what about blasts? Like obviously this Blue Moon deck's either on 3 or 4 blasts, but how many red blasts would you board in? Would you go one or both?
As a boring answer, again, at least one. But I think I would probably lean towards both.
Yeah.
Ben has Show and Tell as well as like the Counterspell package too, and a Brainstorm. So I think there's enough targets where if Ben is casting a blast against one of the blue cards, it's a real high impact spell.
Sure.
So that makes me want to slap it right in there.
Yep.
Also you do have a bit of library manipulation. You've got your own, set of cantrips. So there can be some ways that you can get that second blast out of your hand if it becomes a bit awkward.
Yeah, that's always one of the biggest benefits of these blue decks is the selection gives you a little bit more flexibility in your sideboarding, right? You're not stuck with well, if I draw this blue blast, for example, or red blast, for example, and my opponent doesn't cast anything, then it's just dead. You can loot it away. You've got your Brainstorms, obviously. You've got Surveil Lands and Ponders and Preordains and any number of different things.
Yeah, no Fable too, which is something that I think is a good reason why Fable's pointed. Oh, notably though, Zach is playing Jace the Mind Sculptor. So speaking of Brainstorm,
sick.
We have another old timer.
The big old Brainstorm himself. I mean, we saw a red-black deck earlier as well that would have a field day with just boarding in some maybe cards between the Inti and the Fear of Missing Out and the Fable. There was a lot of discard going on in that deck. So that could also be another deck where you take advantage of the card filtering without even being in blue. So I think Zach kept a 7 here and Ben's going to 6. I could be wrong though. What are we seeing here? I'm seeing a few lands, a Textless Ponder.
Zach keeping his cards very close to his chest, which is good for Zach, poor for us.
He's gone on a mulligan.
Yeah. Looks like Ben is keeping. Which, I think mulliganing, to some degree, both these decks mulligan quite well. I think maybe Ben obviously just wants to pair the two pieces together. Wants a fatty, wants to reanimate. So.
Yeah, that's it. Ben could keep a 3-card hand and close enough to win the game on turn 2, Land and Tomb, reanimate my Atraxa.
What you gonna do?
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, do you have the Ghost Vacuum? No? Do you have Chaos?
Yep.
No? Sweet. Let's pack it up.
Yep. Because then you got a handful of cards anyway. I've lost to used to be a big Vintage guy when we played Vintage here in Australia, and I've lost to Dredge on a mulligan to 2 a bunch.
Yeah,
they just have the turn
Bizarre.
1. If their 2 cards are Bizarre Grave Troll, like what can you do?
Yeah, exactly right.
You're done. So we've got the turn 1 Ponder here. I can see not much. We can see the Bone Shards there again. And we are going to take a shuffle here.
Yeah, notably too, I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but Ben is also on 8 points.
Really?
Yeah.
That explains the strange mana base.
Yeah. So
explains how there's room for 2 islands, 2 swamps.
Got the Underground River there too, and obviously probably playing more shock lands than you would typically see.
Sick.
But it's probably a massive point in the 8 points favor where we kind of didn't even notice, which is quite interesting.
So turn 1 Tamio, Seasoned Scholar from Zach, and a turn 2 Emperor of Bones.
Yep.
For Ben. One of the coolest reanimation spells I've seen in a while.
Yeah, Emperor of Bones has been incredibly impressive since its inception to Highlander.
Yeah, it's so powerful. It's really good in in the fair decks, you know, just reanimating a random 3-drop or 4-drop and being some incidental graveyard hate, just keeping your opponent's graveyard small.
Yep.
And sometimes you get to go silly with it and take an Atraxa or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely comes across to me as just a more main board sort of version of Hearse in a weird sense.
And on the other side, Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student. That's
Yep.
the one. Seasoned Scholar's the back half.
Yeah, so Zach here playing Ponder on turn 2, which I think I might have sort of seen a Brainstorm in his hand, which is quite interesting, where Brainstorm obviously pairing incredibly well with Tamiyo.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be off on that, but...
Well, we're going to find out here in a second.
Yeah. Duress...
And we're brainstorming in response.
Okay.
Can this Tamiyo transform on your opponent's turn? It can.
It can, which I hope Zach has announced this trigger. Not
so
sure.
Maybe not wanting to transform the Tamiyo in the face of the Emperor.
Yeah, I mean,
2 loyalty is not many. Granted, you get to tick it up.
2 loyalty, yeah, it goes to 4.
Hmm.
If Ben attacks the Tamiyo on that following turn, there's only 1 power Emperor unless he activates it. So,
well, the hand revealed here.
The hand revealed. So it looks like he has
Harbinger, lose focus, something.
I'm not sure if the Tamiyo is a must.
Well, I mean, I can. Let's find out here.
Let's quickly find out.
I mean, it is a must. It is a triggered ability though, and if you miss that ability, then that's on you.
GG.
If your opponent wants to put on the stack, they're allowed to call a judge and say, "My opponent missed their trigger. Let's get this fixed."
Yep.
But if not, then enjoy your creature, I guess.
If not, game on. So yeah, it looks like Ben, importantly too, he's got the swamp this time. So
the Duress did take the lose focus.
Yeah.
So leaving the Blood Moon in hand, I mean, your opponent's got Island. That's not the best mana base for playing a Blood Moon. And it looked like Ben there did point out the Tamiyo trigger just to get it transformed so I can attack it, please.
Yeah, and this is really unfortunate. So because Zach couldn't activate the Tamiyo for the first time, the 2 toughness from the bones is coming in. And it's going to just swiftly take down the Tamiyo, So
I guess the question here is, did Zach hide a mountain on top of the deck?
Yeah, that's very true.
That would be influential here.
The far most left card...
That is a Blood Moon.
That's a Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what the second card is. Is it a Hydroblast? I see Blood Moon Island something Harbinger.
Tashana's Tidebinder.
Okay.
But not confident, however. I'll take a guess.
You're pretty good. I gotta tell you.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
It can't be duressed, so yeah, I think that was it. But there we go. We see a Harbinger just getting absolutely slammed to the table. Notably though, no mountain, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, obviously
a roughly symmetrical Harbinger here with 2 swamps versus 3 islands. It's it's certainly not the most symmetrical of cards, but this is the closest it'll be to symmetrical. For a while.
Ben playing his own. Is it his own Tamiyo?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's reanimated Zach's Tamiyo with the Emperor Bones. That's interesting.
And then Worldly Tutoring for Sheoldred.
Yes.
Well, that's not a reanimation target. That's just
It's not a reanimation target.
That only costs 4, you know. We can just play that guy.
Yeah, it's also a little bit awkward into this Tidebinder. So
very true. I mean, it's still a 4/5, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's
if you cast that and your opponent draws and then triggers and Tidebinders that trigger, you're fine. You're so fine. You get a 4/5 in the face of 2 2/2s.
Yeah. The maths pretty well for Ben.
So
attacking here with both creatures, making a clue.
I'm interested by the Harbinger choosing not to block the Emperor there. I suppose the Adapt was being held up. These Shocklands coming in untapped. Harbinger really doing a number on these 8-point mana bases. And is that
Tainted Indulgence? I believe
we got a reader here in the booth.
It's a weird Night's Whisper. So I would.
Is this the one that the ring tempts you? No.
No, this one is dependent on the amount of CMC type. Different CMCs in your graveyard.
Okay. And then this Tamiyo is going to transform and be given back to the opponent.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna make sure that they get that right.
This Tamio is causing a lot of headaches in the feature match.
Yeah, and it looks like they have caught that, and they've made sure that this Tamio, actually, it always comes back under its owner's control. Thanks for reanimating it. Thanks for drawing some cards and flipping it. I'll have that back now.
Isn't that one? That's always the worst, right? When you think, I've got this awesome line, and then, wait, that's not how it works? No way.
Yep.
You're joking.
It's a paddling. Alas, that's where we are. You've committed to it.
Yeah, yep.
So, ticking up the Tamio, the Seasoned Scholar. That's going to shrink any attacks that come over. Going to be a bit of a slow burn. And we're going to sacrifice the clue here on the end step to draw. Look like a misty rainforest.
Yeah, I like Zach being patient here with the Tide Binder. Obviously, it sort of knows about the Sheoldred, so doesn't want to just jam it out in the face of nothing to stop one card from being drawn. Would much rather get extra value off of it.
Well, at least this Tamio doesn't have much to recur from the graveyard. If you're on Ben's side, that's some solace you can take.
Yeah, although importantly, you kind of need to start hitting it because it does get out of hand. If you draw half your library, you're probably going to win the game.
It's hard to hit it here, though.
It is true.
There's a silly merfolk in the way, and you've only got a 1/2. Entomb.
Entomb. Very powerful spell. Recently banned in Legacy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's, I don't want to say it's about time, but gee, that card has had a long, storied history in that format. Between, traditional Reanimator decks making Atraxas and Grizzlebrands, and going back in time, maybe making like Tidespout Tyrants and Terrastodons, to like the Shallow Grave decks that we had.
Interesting. So it looks like Zach is Tide Bindering the Emperor of Bones Trigger.
Okay.
Wonder here if Ben is going to adapt it in response.
I mean, if we adapt in response, there's no creatures under it, so we're losing that ability. I mean, I guess it makes it bigger, yeah?
Yeah, you just get the counter so you can now actually somewhat try and attack through to the Tamio. Which, yeah, again, like, whilst the Tamio isn't super threatening now and the graveyard is quite empty, it does sort of sneak by, and it can.
You're right.
You give it two or three more turns, and it's going to need an answer.
That ultimate is looming. It's at 6 now.
So here we see the big Sheoldred, and a Dismember from Zach. So okay, so he found an answer for Sheoldred outside of the Tidebinder.
Sure. Take 4 for the privilege though.
Takes 4, not too bad on 20. So you're pretty happy with this Dismember here, yeah.
Was on 18, now on 14, so close enough.
Yeah, Dismember's been a real staple, it seems like, the last few months.
Seen a lot of it today.
Seen an absolute lot of it, especially in the decks that just don't play any black.
We saw it last round, blue-red taking out a Ice Till Explorer.
Yeah.
No, taking out some other card instead. Didn't have it for the Ice Till.
A good card, no doubt.
Yeah. No. I think it was Dismember on an Oracle of Moldavia.
Oh, okay, that is... Yeah, I've seen better Dismembers, eh?
But we do see a Ghost Vacuum here.
Yeah, big sideboard card
ready
coming
to
in strong.
slurp up the Sheoldred or the Atraxa, going for the Atraxa. Not having to worry about this Emperor is kind of nice. The on-board Reanimator is gone.
So yeah, Tidebinder here looking really nice on this Emperor.
I think that Tamio did nothing that turn.
Interesting.
That's the 3rd turn it's been in play, and it did not tick up to 8.
Yep. So this Tamio causing a lot of headaches, as we said.
Yeah, well, I mean, he shouldn't have even had it anyway. It should belong with Ben.
Yeah. chuck the dice on top of your library.
Yep. There we go. He remembers it on this turn, draws, and immediately ticks up.
Yeah, it reminds me of the 3-mana Teferi tick up. It's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't immediately impact the board.
Yep.
However,
just
do
need to get it done.
Yeah.
Well, Ghost Vacuum is now untapped, ready to slurp up any reanimation targets that Ben may find here. And we have a
Show and Tell.
Show and Tell and a counterspell.
Show and Tell into the concession,
Yeah, I did see a Valvagoth there, the card in hand, looking to be shown off to the classroom.
But Ben seems like he doesn't want to go through the motions of having his opponent draw 20 plus cards and
That's it.
writing it out.
Well, welcome back to the booth. Jim Dowling, Ethan Bird. That was round 4. That was a really quick one, actually. We still have a good 20 minutes left in the round here. So it's going to be a bit of a break. You all should take this opportunity, go stand up, stretch, touch grass, get some fresh air. I'd normally say some sunshine, but it's not looking the best if you're a Melbourne local. Maybe if you're watching from somewhere else. Chime in, let us know where you're from, and we'll see you all for round 5. Ethan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Jim. Always a pleasure.